Good afternoon, folks, and welcome to the Firm U, a private personal training facility. My name is Ray Bessette, and today I'm going to do an instructional video on a bench press. Okay, everybody knows how to bench press. All right, now we're going to bench press the correct way, and I'm going to explain some myths and some techniques that may help your bench press out a lot, and also prevent you from injury. Number one, you should always bench, or any exercise where you're using free weights or even machines, you should always have a spotter. Okay, today my spotter is the machine. This is a Freedom Rack. Okay, it kind of looks like a Smith machine. It has rails going vertically, and also has rails down here, so I can lift the bar up and move it this way and that way. Where a Smith machine, it's fixed and you can only go vertically up and down. I particularly like this because often myself personally in my own studio, when I don't have clients, I am working out myself. So I don't want anybody coming in here and seeing me pinned to the bench. So it just wouldn't be good for business, if you know what I mean. So the muscles involved in a bench press, okay? Your pectorals. Now we're doing a flat bench today. You can do incline bench, you can do dumbbell benches. There are a multitude of different ways to do a bench press. Probably the best way to do a bench press is on a Smith machine or a Freedom Rack like this. And actually not even using a bench and just doing it right on the floor. The reason why I say on the floor is that when you bring your elbows down, you should never have them exceed your back or go past your back. Okay, that's an impingement. You're saying, well, I'm gonna miss the stretch, or I'm not gonna be able to bounce it off my chest. That's right, you're not supposed to bounce it off your chest, okay? Now, if your football coach says bounce it off your chest because you're gonna get another 20, 30 pounds on your bench press, and he can put it in the program that everybody in my on my offensive line can bench over 315 pounds, it looks good on paper, but it's not gonna help your pectoral muscles or your triceps that are involved in the exercise, okay? I'm not saying don't listen to your coach, all right? I'm just saying I'm gonna show you the correct way how to bench press. And I think my credentials can support what I'm gonna say. Anyway, so when you do approach the bench, okay, and I'm gonna do it sitting up this way instead of laying down at first, okay? A lot of people have an issue or a question about where they should put their hands, okay? So there are principles of putting your hands close together to do a close grip bench press. Now, what is that gonna work? That's gonna work in between your chest here and a lot of triceps, okay? That's an in close. I would say this would be in close. Now you can bring them even closer and mess up your wrists if you want. I don't suggest you do that. This right here would suffice, and you get the message across to your triceps and a little bit of inner chest. Now, the wider you go, the more you're going to hit the wideness of your pectoral muscles, okay? And less on your triceps, okay? So when you bring the bar down to your chest, okay, you want to come down right about, probably about 4 inches for most people. Women, of course, it's going to be a little different, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so you want to come down for about 4 inches, as long as your elbows don't pass your back, okay? And also, you'll see that when people do bench, and I'm not talking about Olympic benching or powerlifting, okay? Because that's kind of a different subject. They're going for just as much as they can lift as far as the bench goes. They also have to have their feet on the ground. They can arch their backs and stuff like that. Their objective is to lift heavy weight. What I'm showing the majority of the people, or majority of the people don't want to be a power lifter. They don't want to be a bodybuilder. They just want to look good in clothes. Let's admit it. Okay, that's great. Me too. Okay, so that's the type of exercises that I'm going to express here. Okay, so what I will do is I'll go and use my thumb, because my thumbs are even. Okay, I'll use my thumb and I'll put it where you got the bar, there's usually an indicator in the middle. It gets gritty, smooth, gritty again. And I'll put my thumb right here and I'll wrap right there. Now, if you look over here, there's another bare spot right here where it goes gritty, then bare, then you can actually put your palm right there if you want to. Okay, but I've been doing this for like 50 years, so I've been using my thumbs. So I use my thumbs like this, okay? And also, never grip a bar like you're hanging from a cliff, okay? You don't need a, what do they call it? What was that grip? You don't need this kind of a grip. You want to actually, yeah, you want to use the palm of your, the palm on your hand right here. Now, if you use the palm of your hand, you're going to ask me, how do I grip the bar? Well, it's kind of a tricky way to go. As long as you're nice and smooth. Now, this bar is not going to sway back and forth because it's on a Smith or Freedom Rack, I should say. Okay, so it's not going to go back and forth. So I can basically go almost hands-free on here. I don't suggest that for anybody to do it unless you're very experienced. Okay, so I just kind of grip it like this. Okay, it's not gonna, this doesn't spin. But on a regular bench, it may, and they usually do, so you gotta really be cautious. But the main point I wanna get across is the grip and also not bouncing off your chest. It doesn't do you any good, okay? It might look good for, you know, the ladies or whoever you're trying to impress, you know, but it's not gonna do your chest any good. I mean, I'd rather walk around and have somebody say, hey, how much can you bench? And I'll say 405. Well, there's no way I can bench 405. But if I look like it, I could probably get away with it, okay? When somebody else that could bench 405 looks like a Pee Wee Herman, you know, they're not getting, you know, I don't know, maybe that's your thing. But it's gonna destroy your joints. And remember this, and I say this in quite a few of my other videos, the strongest guy in the gym is the person with the less injuries. So the less injuries you have, I mean, you can have the best bench press in the gym for a month and then all of a sudden tear a pectoral muscle. Guess what? Now you're back in the Pee Wee Herman zone because you're not lifting weights, okay? So I'm gonna spin around. I'm gonna go ahead and show a correct bench press. And also the tempo of the bar going up and down makes a big difference. Try the tempo of 3 seconds down, 3 seconds back up, and not try to get through it like it's, you know, like you're running out of time here. Okay, so come down nice and slow, come back up nice and slow, and here we go. I'm gonna spin around. Now, I like to put my feet up. It flattens out my back. Now, if I put my feet on the ground, being as short as I am, I get more of an arch of my back, which I'm not really looking for. So you put your feet up on the bench, or conveniently on the Freedom Rack, just put them up on this bar like this. So now I'm grabbing, using the old thumb trick that I like. Okay, so my hands are exact. Now being a Smith machine, or I should say a Freedom Rack, I could be benching like this and it'd still be straight. Okay, my muscles probably wouldn't be straight, but the bar wouldn't tip. Okay, so just for consistency, I'm just gonna go like this. I'm gonna bring the bar off. This is where a spotter would come in handy. You should never take the bar off and put it back on by yourself when you can have a spotter help you. If you have a lifting partner, it's great. Okay, or a personal trainer like me, it's even better. Okay, so we're gonna bring this off. Now I'm not in a hurry to get down. I'm gonna stabilize myself. My elbows are straight, so I'm not really using much muscle. Okay, now I got the okay. Everything looks like Houston, we don't have a problem. So I'm gonna bring it down to here, right here, where my elbows are at a 90-degree angle, and then back up. Okay, back down, and then back up. Now, first time I straighten my elbows out. What am I doing now? I'm resting. We don't want to rest. Once you leave the gym, you got all day to rest. And here, we want to keep a slight bend. Call it a soft bend. So back down here, soft bend up, back down here, soft bend up. Now you notice I was at 3 seconds. Well, I'll show you what 3 seconds looks like. 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, and now I'm going to rack it. Now notice I'm just looking at one side because I know the bar is parallel and I have a strong feeling it's going to be the same on the other side. Okay, so you'll also notice, or didn't notice, you can't see how much weight I have on there. Well, my muscles can't see how much weight I have on there either. But the feeling that I get by doing those 3 seconds down, 3 seconds up is called time and tension. That time and tension is more intense than having 315 and bouncing off my chest and walking around like McGill Gorilla saying, Did you see that? Well, that's not going to get you to 64 years old like I am and not having problems, joint problems. Okay? Anyway, so this is Ray Bessette saying if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. And then stand by for the next video. It's going to be even better.